Slipped on an icy patch.
He was decapitated.
It was a very icy patch.
Welcome to About Time, a Doctor Who podcast. I'm Stephen, and I've been a Doctor Who fan since 2005.
And I'm Ben, and I've never seen the show before.
For years now, I've been trying to convince Ben to give it a go.
And my answer has always been no.
But now, finally, he's agreed not only to watch it with me, but to do a podcast about it as well. And quite frankly, it's about time. Podcasting in bondage. Works for me. Hello.
Dear. Hello.
It's us again.
Yeah, for episode 11.
Just what the world asked for. 2 more white men with their own podcast.
Yeah.
At least we're not straight white men.
Yeah.
How are you today?
I'm tired, but I'm alright.
Yeah, you say that every week.
Yeah.
But it's true, isn't it?
I just need to stop staying late at work.
Well, yes, I keep telling you that.
Go home when I'm supposed to be going home, not staying over. Not actually staying over.
Not sleeping in a sleeping bag.
No, absolutely not.
So, we've just watched Boomtown, episode 11 of series 1.
Yeah.
Ben has a thing about this title. Throughout the week, he's been going, what's the next title again? And I'm like, Boomtown. And he's like, oh, for fuck's sake.
It doesn't... I understand the title now.
Yeah, because I looked it up just to double check, but I said to him, I'm pretty sure it's a phrase. It means like a town or community that's had like a big boom, like a...
Yeah, but this is
growth.
Obviously like she's going to explode.
Yes, it's a double meaning. It's a pun, yes.
But like, yeah.
But you didn't like it.
I just think it could have been more...
Okay.
Spacey and fun.
But I did something. I don't think you were aware, but I knew that the previously on would give it away that the Slitheen were back. So I recorded your reaction.
Oh no! What did you do?
So I'll play it to you.
Yeah.
If you really insist that I get rid of it, I will get rid of it.
Okay.
But hopefully you can let me put it in because it's cool to have a live reaction.
Okay.
Right, you ready? There is a previously on montage.
Why do we need previously?
You'll see.
Oh, they're not back, are they? Oh my god, the Slitheen aren't back.
Reduce the earth to molten slag. Said it.
Leave this planet or I'll stop.
Stephen.
What? I'm saying nothing.
That was already a 2-fucking-parter!
6 months later.
Yeah, you can keep that in.
Yeah, it was already a 2-fucking-parter. So you weren't impressed when you saw the Slitheen coming?
No, I wasn't! Ugh. I hated it so much.
What, the fact that the Slitheen were back?
Already recycling ideas.
So
The Doctor Who mantra. Let's recycle until we can't recycle anymore.
Okay. Can I tell you the backstory of the creation of this episode?
Let me guess.
Okay, have a guess.
Midge.
Midge,
I'm going to call her Midge because
Margaret.
I can't think of her name. Midge.
the Margaret actress.
Midge.
Annette Badland.
Midge. Midge.
But are you talking about the character or the actress?
Yes, the character Midge.
Okay.
Now I've forgot my point. Oh. Yeah, Midge, the person who played Midge.
So the actress.
Yes, the actress Midge.
Annette Badland.
Yes.
Yes.
She's very good.
She
They
is.
wanted, we didn't let you shine as much in the last episode. The men took it all. Let's have you magically, well, not magically, but I will accept this teleportation-ish. It's a bit like, ooh, I've got to take my ring off. Ooh, I've got to take my necklace off. Ooh, I've got to put it all together and make a little key so I can go boom. Okay, she was not in her suit. When in the last episode, when they went boom, boom, she was not in her suit.
Well, she might have grabbed it. When the actual...
We need to rewind back, look at her suit. If her necklace and things are connected to her and they're nowhere to be seen, then it is a retcon.
Well, of course it is, but the moment of impact in World War III, we didn't see all we saw was a very much a close up of like one Slitheen, like the Prime Minister guy going, "Oh, bol."
Yeah.
So we don't know what she was doing. But anyway, can I tell you the backstory? So you're partly right.
Yeah.
It was a case of, she did a great job, but she didn't shine enough. But they wouldn't have just done that for the sake of it. The thing was, there was another episode due to be in this place, written by, I think, Paul Abbott, who's a friend of Russell T Davies, and who I think wrote Shameless. He's quite a well-respected TV writer, but he had to let go of the script because he had too many other commitments. So basically, Russell had to do a last-minute write an episode, and they needed to do a cheap episode.
Cheap, I can understand. Did you see those effects today?
You didn't like the cracks in the street.
Ugh.
Let's just get this out of the way. You didn't like it, did you?
Not really.
Okay.
So they wanted a cheap episode, so they brought in all the people that were contracted.
Yes.
So the 4 were contracted for a set number of episodes.
But that doesn't make any sense because they would have...
They can add a contract rather than build a new contract.
Okay.
They can add an episode rather than build a new episode.
All right, okay. I don't know how it works.
Rose and Thingy were... forgot the title character then.
The Doctor?
The Rose and the Doctor.
The Rose?
The Doctor and Rose...
Yes.
Were like signed on for the whole... How many episodes is in the season?
13.
Yeah, so I think, it's cheap that way. Anywho.
Yeah, anyway, you didn't like it. I really like this episode. It's very different, and...
It's a bit...
Slow?
No, I really did not like the fact that they recycled the Slitheen's.
Okay.
That I did not like.
Well, can I say what I think?
Of course you can, you moron.
I do think, actually, the Slitheen were... Well, I know there's only one of them, but they were done better in this episode than they were in the previous one. I think they get more things right. Like, you really believe, like, the little tweaks that they did. Like, do you remember that bit when she was cornered by people running towards her and she's in her skin suit, but she did this, like this growl, and you feel like the creature is really inside her?
Did not hear that at all.
Oh, yeah. No, it's when she comes out of the mayor's office and then Rose comes around the corner running at her and she's like growls at her and like snarls at her like an animal. And we talked about the CGI versus the big bulky costumes.
Yeah.
The scene in the toilet. I feel when you're feeling really sorry for her and she's this big bulky costume, but they use it really well in a way that humanizes this character. Like, for me.
I don't agree.
Okay.
They used it, Stephen, because they already had it.
Yes, I know, but that doesn't mean it's necessarily bad.
But the thing is, though, they could have done a cheap episode with, like, different effects rather than bring back a preview. This feels like an epilogue that we didn't ask for.
Okay.
This feels like an extension of the story that has already been given 2 parts.
But I don't see it
And
as...
we've got a massive break in between. It doesn't... It feels clunky.
No, I don't see it as part of that same story.
It is. It is. She's the same character.
Yeah.
It's a part of her own story. It is a part of that storyline.
It continues it, but it's its own story.
No, it's not. Her motives have not changed. She still...
Yes, they have. Last time she wanted to destroy the Earth and sell it as fuel. This time she just wants to destroy it so she can get home.
Yeah, but that's still destroying Earth. The core of it is still the same.
Yeah, a lot of that happens in Doctor Who.
No, it's a continuation of that story. They retconned it to fit this in, and I think that was a big mistake.
Okay, that's your view.
We've already had 2-parter. We did not need any more Slitheen. We could have had something more. If you want a cheap episode, do another episode like Father's Day. No aliens, hardly any aliens in that. And it's more contained. They could have done a whole episode where, like, they're inside the TARDIS and it's locked and they can't get out.
To be fair, that would be really good.
Like a box episode.
Yeah.
Like, there is so much they could have done for a cheap episode.
To be fair, I think I've always thought a bottle episode like in the TARDIS would be really good. And they did something like that in the classic series way, way back. Like, I think I've mentioned to you before, it's the third story ever. And it's just 2 short episodes. And it's like a psychological thriller. they're trapped inside the TARDIS, and like they think like something might have got in, and like it might be hiding inside one of them, and they're not quite sure, and they can't trust each other.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
So something like that would always be good.
So how I would do an episode like that is like the TARDIS stops in the middle of time.
Yeah.
It freezes and it can't move. It can't move back. It can't move forward.
Yeah.
Because something's blocking its path.
Yeah.
That's how I would do that episode.
That'd be cool. But yeah, I think that part of what makes me feel like this is a completely different story to the Aliens of London World War III is that it feels like a totally different genre. Like this one is more emotional and like moral dilemma. Like what right does the Doctor have to take her to her death and stuff like that? But the other one was more action thriller like sort of thing.
You need to really start watching some more action thrillers before you like cool things action thrillers like action packed thing. Like action films normally have a bit of a build up and then they go into the action. What did this have? Bit of a build up went into the action.
Oh right, okay.
Like it had an emotional core to it. They were experimenting with a genre and a theme, but it does not push it outside of the genre that it is supposed to be, which is action.
I don't agree.
This is action entertainment.
I would not call Boomtown an action episode.
Oh, I would say so. About 25%. No, I would say about half of it is action.
Yeah, but that doesn't make it an action
Yes, it does.
genre.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
Doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
All right. Write in and let us know if I'm right or Ben's right. What else can we talk about?
We can talk about one fucking disastrous thing that they should have just... If they wanted a cheap episode, they should have stopped this. The Slitheen, like, popping out like a little Play-Doh extruder. Like,
yeah.
Hello, I'm a green baby. Oh my God, it reminded me of those things, like, as we were growing up.
Those egg things.
No, like, the little fluffy things that pop in and out. They're fluffy.
I've no
and
idea.
They're like
what you're
alien baby things.
I know the alien babies, those were in eggs.
No, they're not.
People used to say they had
show.
babies.
This was the TV show.
Oh, okay.
They're fluffy and they pop in and pop out.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh.
You're going to Google. What are you going to Google? Fluffy things that pop in and out? It's not like Boohbah, is it?
Boohbah?
Did you ever watch Boohbah?
That's an elephant.
No, that's Barbah. Boohbah. Are we Barbah or Boohbah?
Yes!
It is Boohbah! It's Boohbah! By the way, I swear we were too old for Boohbah when it was on.
Yeah, but I remember it, like, being on telly.
It being a thing, yeah.
And, like, I remember, like, days where, like, I was just like, it's on telly, I might as well watch it. And it clicks on the coffee table and I can't bother to get up.
I totally know what you mean.
Yeah. Boohbah!
Boohbah.
Like,
So it
looks like a little boohbah popping out of the skin.
It's not Boomtown, it's Boohbah Town.
Boohbahs.
Anyway. So there we go.
Oh, no. If they wanted a cheap episode, cut all the animation out of this episode.
Yeah, but they only did it once. They only had it once in the toilet scene.
Yeah, but they had this weird arm thing that she suddenly ripped off the skin of the
I think that
arm
was clever.
like a banana.
I think that was clever because it revealed her the threat that she could, use her claw, but it allowed her to still have the human performance that the actress was giving. Imagine how that scene would have been if it had just been the whole Slitheen out.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have been as effective.
Yeah. I understand that. Like, that's the technical thing, but that arm just looked weird.
It did just look like she had it on like a toy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like
a
for me, like how the fuck did she rip off the skin? You're suctioned to it, love.
Oh, I don't know. Don't question it.
Like, love, you have to use the device to unsuction yourself out of the skin.
Yeah.
Yet you can suddenly rip it off like a glove. I don't think so.
So I never know with Doctor Who, like, how far you should question certain things. There's one episode, like, way, way, way in the future, like Peter Capaldi's era, and he's in this situation, and he comes out and he's got a cup of tea in a saucer, and he goes like, oh, where did I get the cup of tea? Don't question it, I'm the Doctor. Like, and it's like, well, actually, I do question it.
Is that Moffat?
Yes, of course it's Moffat.
Oh, why?
Yeah. Well, we've got a long way before we get to that, if we ever indeed do get to that. What else can we talk about?
The return of fucking Mickey. Could have done the whole episode without him.
Yes.
He was needless.
But do you not think it was nice to touch base
No.
with him and Rose?
No, absolutely not.
Okay. I think, can I say? I think it ties into the theme of, there's a theme in this episode of the Doctor, his lifestyle sort of leaving devastation in its wake, which is what Margaret says. And I think that comes through again with Mickey and the fact that he's just plucked Rose out of her life and she's left Mickey behind. And again, it's the consequences of that. Like, are they together? Are they not? We
Obviously
don't know.
not. He's with Trisha.
Well, yeah, but he still came running when she called, like he said he did. Like, it's not really fair. It's not really, yeah.
Rose just needs to let the boy go.
She does, yeah.
And I think she has in this episode. I think she's said to herself,
Yeah.
like, it's not fair.
But then she's seen how she's been stringing him along and she feels bad.
Yeah, of course she feels bad.
Yeah.
She's human and she's one of the best characters. I didn't like her in this episode, though. I will tell you that. Like, this episode was all over the place for me. You could tell it was rushed. You could tell it was hardly edited.
Oh, it wasn't rushed.
I bet it was rushed.
I don't think so.
I bet it was rushed.
This series took 9 months to film. So if they knew, like, you know, that there was a script that needed filling, they could have, they had ages to sort it out.
Yeah.
But
But
still.
anywho, it just felt, I don't know, like, it fell short.
Okay.
Coming from Nancy, love her to pieces.
Yeah.
Like, she was fantastic. And, like, we come to this episode and there's no, like, gravitas. There's no...
No, how could you say there's no gravitas in Boomtown? It's got a lot of serious core
Yeah,
to
but
it.
there's no... I don't know, everything's a joke and everything's this and everything's that.
No, it's not.
It is.
This episode has a great balance of comedy and
I
drama.
don't think so. Oh, I hate the bit when they were, like, all in the entrance foyer.
Oh, yeah,
And
with
they
their
were like-
phones. You hated that bit when they were
Yeah,
all...
it just felt like Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, I think it was supposed to be a bit tongue-in-cheek.
I don't come here to have tongue-in-cheek. I don't come here to laugh. I come here to have serious entertainment with the action genre.
Okay.
And science fiction.
If you don't come here for tongue-in-cheek and you don't come here to laugh, maybe Doctor Who isn't for you.
Is Doctor Who supposed to be a comedy?
No, but it's peppered with humour.
That's fine. But I don't enjoy it when it's, like, forced in, wedged in this. I don't like when it doesn't feel natural.
Okay, so you felt it didn't feel natural.
I don't feel like the characters did that.
Let me just say that this episode is another one that's quite divisive. It's like a Marmite episode. So for me, I really like it. You're one of the people that didn't like it.
No.
Which is fair enough. But that building, do you know what it is?
Some kind of theatre.
It is actually. How do you know? It's the Wales Millennium Centre, and it's like a concert venue, and so on. Apparently the locals call it the Armadillo because did you see the texture on it? It's like metal plates.
Okay.
Armadillo. And you see that a lot in Torchwood because obviously set in Cardiff.
Didn't happen what I thought would happen there.
Yeah, you had a theory, didn't you?
Yeah.
You said.
I said that, the rift's going to open and Jack's going to have to stay.
Yeah, you thought basically this episode was setting up Torchwood.
Yeah.
With him having to stay and look after it. Yeah. You're not a million miles off, but it just didn't happen in this episode.
I was right that I said that he was going to be in for the rest of the season.
Yes, you were right. And yeah, Cardiff Bay, like I've been there twice. It's lovely.
Why would you take me?
Because, in fact, both times were before I was with you. Yeah. We should go one day though.
We've already chosen our destination for our holiday this year.
Yes, but I said one day we can go. Yeah. It's a lovely little place. And
2 hours to drive from Mum's.
Yeah, we could do a day trip.
Probably 2 hours and 40 minutes.
Could do a day trip.
Yeah. Watch out, Cardiff. We're doing a day trip.
Yeah. And I think another thing with this episode is they were trying to showcase Cardiff, like because it's quite an underappreciated city.
Yeah.
And it's got lovely architecture on the bay, like that water tower with the water going down is really nice. And it's called Roald Dahl Place. It's named after Roald Dahl, obviously. Didn't mean to explain that.
I've got a question for you.
Yes.
When does architecture become sculpture? Because you said architecture.
Oh.
A waterfall is an architecture.
No, you're right. It's more of a sculpture than architecture. Because an architecture is a building, isn't it?
Can you say that again, Stephen?
You were right.
How many times have I been right?
I'm gonna choke on those words, but you were right. Yeah. I'm only joking. I can accept that I'm wrong. Don't laugh.
That's the funniest thing you've said in 11 episodes. He's gone red.
Have I? Yeah. What can I say? I like to be right. It's part of my personality. But no, honestly, I can accept when I'm wrong. I can.
Sounds like the quiver in your voice.
Anyway, we learn a bit more about the TARDIS, the chameleon circuit, in this episode.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God.
Oh, are you thinking about what happened at the end?
I have learnt so much about the TARDIS today.
Yeah.
So much.
Are you thinking about the end when it opened?
Let's talk about the first bit first.
Okay, go on then.
Okay, the chameleon circuit and like it being like, oh, it's a phone box and I quite like it. It's charming. Blah 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 blah. The Doctor, why? Why can't you just fix it?
So he has in the classic series. He actually did manage to fix it at one point, but then it broke again.
Oh.
So I think he probably could try and fix it, but it wouldn't be reliable. And also, like you said, he likes it by now. He's been living with it as a police box for hundreds of years now, probably in his lifespan.
Yeah.
He likes it. But you know what he said about Mickey was like, why don't people wonder what it is and stuff? And he said, people just walk past it. You feel like that's a bit of a cop-out?
That is a little bit. Everything to do with the TARDIS is a cop-out apart from one thing, which I will get on later.
Yeah.
I really don't like the fact that it comes from the whole thing that they needed a cheap thing that they could use over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Yeah? I understand that. That's fine. But, like, having it broken means that the I don't know. It just feels like they're trying to feed all this backstory into a concept that was originated for a ploy or a way to make the show cheaper.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is, but it's brilliant, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And like I said before, it's iconic now. It's more associated with Doctor Who than anything else.
Okay.
But what I was going to say was as well, like with the people walking past it and ignoring it thing, there is actually more to that the Doctor didn't say in that episode.
Okay. Don't have to explain it now.
I won't explain it now, but I'm just saying he was brushing it under the carpet for the sake of Mickey because he couldn't be bothered to go into it, but there is more to it.
Yeah. Do you want me to talk about more TARDIS stuff?
Yeah, go on then.
Okay. So we all know that I was told that the TARDIS grows.
Oh God, here we go.
And where does the TARDIS grow? We do not know because Stephen will not tell us.
Stephen
Moffat
does not
won't
know.
tell us. Russell will not tell us.
On the planet that I'm not allowed to mention.
Chob won't tell us. Chob something.
Chibnall.
Oh. Oh, okay.
Chob.
I thought it was Chob something.
Chibnall. Chris Chibnall.
Oh. Yeah, they won't tell us where it grows.
Yeah, I don't know.
We can't get to the fact. They can build up back plans for
but
a
no,
thing.
but it's natural to assume that it grows on the planet that I'm not allowed to mention.
Where? How? Why?
I don't know.
So, I don't think they grow.
Okay.
I've come to this conclusion in this episode.
Okay.
I do not think that the TARDIS grows anymore. You'll be happy to hear. Cause
Relieved to hear you stop going on about
happy
it.
to hear. But I do believe that the shell of the TARDIS is created by the Time Lords. They build that shell.
Mm.
What does grow, what does build and grow is the light and the thing inside.
The thing inside, yeah.
The light inside was probably being hunted, was being used for fuel, was being extincted. Extinctified?
Made extinct?
Made instinct. And so the Time Lords built protective armours for this energy
Okay.
And so then they suddenly became a symbiotic relationship.
Yeah.
So the technology is the Time Lords, but the power is from the TARDIS's heart,
Yeah.
which is a creature which is very much alive,
Mm.
but can't survive very long, or struggles. I don't know. It
Okay.
needs the shell of the TARDIS for some reason.
So you finally had it confirmed that the TARDIS is alive.
Yes, it is alive, but it can't heal itself. It can't fix itself. It does not grow. The inside bit bigger than the outside is pure magic. The only way I can think of is that the door is a force field to the box is not actually the ship. You know what I mean? So this door is a force field, and they walk through it.
You mean
and
like a portal?
Yeah, and they teleport into the real ship.
Yeah. Well, in a way, I think that's kind of what it is. It's a separate dimension, as has been said before.
Yeah. And then the TARDIS itself just moves the portal and them in sync.
Basically,
I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyhow.
Probably something like that.
I'm not a
Physicist?
I don't know anything about maths.
But
But yeah, that's my opinions. That the TARDIS is in a symbiotic relationship
with its inside.
with its inside. But it feels a bit like Enchantress. Like, oh, I can make you into an egg. Hi, egg. It's like, how can you fucking do that?
Well, it's mysterious. We don't know. The Doctor even said he doesn't know how powerful it is. I think... So this is where my Doctor Who knowledge fails me slightly, because I think the inside of the TARDIS is connected to something called the Eye of Harmony, which is possibly on the Doctor's planet. But if that no longer exists, then that's probably why they needed to stop at the rift and soak up the energy to keep it going. But basically, I feel like the inside of the TARDIS, when you open it and look inside, is time itself, like the time vortex. Like they're sort of connected to it. I don't really know.
Yeah.
But there's obviously some sort of sentience there, because Margaret probably deep down was wishing for a way out, another chance at life, because she'd screwed up her life basically.
Yeah.
And the TARDIS sensed that and gave her this opportunity.
Yeah. But it feels a bit magic-y.
Yeah, of course it does. But that is what it is.
This is not a fantasy. This is a sci-fi show.
We have this conversation every episode.
And by the way, no, absolutely not. I will not agree with you that the TARDIS is so advanced that it can make wishes, that it can rewind someone's aging. Absolutely not.
Well, you do know this is not a documentary, don't you? You know this is not supposed to be real. This is fiction.
Yes, I am aware of
So,
that.
Okay, you don't believe it can happen, but fair enough. We're watching a fantasy sci-fi show.
We're watching a science fiction.
With a healthy dash of fantasy in it.
I don't believe that.
Okay. Anyway, we're not going to bore our listeners with this conversation over and over again. So is there anything tell me about something that you actually liked in this episode? You liked Annette Badland.
I did actually say the reason why this episode, during when we were talking, when we were watching it, I did actually say, didn't I? I said like the reason why this episode is because she's such a good actress.
Yeah.
The sad fact is, like, she's so pigeonholed into that character now that she can't be reused.
Not in Doctor Who, no.
No, like she's dead.
Yeah, she's gone.
Unless they go back in time and find
the real Margaret Blaine.
Yeah, like for me that'd be quite cool. Because she's quite a good actress.
Yeah, but I don't think the real Margaret Blaine has any like story significance.
Not anything left. No.
No.
What I think to myself, like Susan.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Maybe like I don't know. I just think Susan's out there somewhere. Like maybe we can go and find her.
Maybe. People are all going goo goo gaga at the moment. Speculating that Susan might be returning.
And if she is returning, called it. I did.
Yeah, but people have been saying that for years.
I didn't know that.
I've been on the forums since I was like 13.
Don't care about forums.
I'm just
I called it.
but I'm just saying that literally every year you see people going, "Is Susan coming back this series? Susan's finally coming back. Susan's finally coming back."
Well, I called it.
Yeah,
Okay, going back to what I liked. That's about it.
that's the only thing.
I did think to myself, I don't know if I should say this because he's a troublesome person.
Oh, John Barrowman?
He's a very good looking man.
You think? Oh, really? He's never done it for me.
No, like in this episode when he was led down, like doing the mechanic, I was like, oh, he's quite attractive.
Okay,
He's quite attractive.
because he was laying on with his legs up like that.
Is
Sorry.
the actual actor bisexual?
He's gay.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, as far as I'm aware. But
Yeah.
what about do you remember the toilet scene with the journalist?
Mm-hmm.
That's one of my favourite scenes. I'm a sucker for villains getting a redemption. And I know she doesn't because she goes bad again at the end. But like, there are hints of possible redemption. And I just love stories where like, and you know, when she and the Doctor were running together and she's like, oh, I'm sticking with you. And it's almost like she's kind of in that companion role for that moment. And I just love stories like that.
Yeah. But I said to you, halfway through the episode, wouldn't trust her with a 10-foot barge pole.
No, you wouldn't.
No, that's the wrong phrase. Wouldn't touch her with a 10-foot barge pole.
And you wouldn't trust her as far as you could throw her.
Yeah.
That's the phrase, yeah. No, you were right. You're absolutely right.
I'd lob her over the fence before I...
Into a skip on the Isle of Dogs.
her. Yeah. I honestly don't know. She's such a... Oh, I don't like her.
Conniving.
Oh, Blonde.
Yes.
Blonde. Something.
Felfoch Passamerde Slitheen. What?
You've heard it once.
No, I've heard it a million times. You've heard it once.
Raphaphallopherisaurus.
Are you trying to say the planet?
Yeah.
Say it again.
Raphaphallopherisaurus. Raphaphallopherisaurus.
Raxacorico
Oh, Raxacorico.
Fallopatorius.
Fallopatorius.
Raxacorica fallopatorius. Corico
Corico.
fallopatorius.
Fallopatorius. Raxaco the Fallopatorius.
Okay.
Oh, no, wrong. I can't
You're trying to do
it.
supercalifragilistic.
I can't do it.
Oh, anyway.
Can you do it?
What, to the tune?
Yeah.
It's not got the right number of syllables to make it work.
Okay,
really.
maybe not. Never mind.
Anyway. Yeah, I love the toilet scene. I love Kathy Salt, the journalist.
I was like, ugh. I was like, okay, you're going to be in it now. Like, let's see where your story goes.
Oh, she
like,
disappears.
Are you going to like
Save the day.
Are you dating the cute guy on reception? Because he is very attractive and that accent.
You you like a Welsh accent?
I like a Welsh accent, and he was very cute.
Yeah, he's all right. He's like the twink on reception. I find him really irritating when he's
Leave the mayor alone.
leave the mayor alone. And when he's like, she's just having a cup of tea.
This is my first 15 minutes of fame, and I'm gonna be this.
Yeah. The mayor says, "Thank you for popping by. She'd love to have a chat, but she's up to her eyes in paperwork." She's climbing out the window, isn't she? Yes, she is. Yes.
Is that her? Is that his real accent? The Doctor's.
What, Christopher Eccleston?
Is that how he sounds?
Yes.
He's not putting an accent on.
No. Why would he?
Oh, I don't know. Just
That's why they put in that line in the first episode to explain it, when Rose was like, how come you sound like you're from the north? And then my other favourite scene in this is the restaurant scene. I mean, in its various different segments.
yeah.
It's just so good. It's like, it takes it back to, because there's not lots of action going on, it takes it back to two characters sitting at a table having a scene. It's like theatre, which I love, and it's, yeah, sure, there's all the comedy stuff when she's like firing the dart at him and he catches it and stuff like that. But then you get into the nitty gritty of like her pleading for her life, basically. And them trying to sort of, each one trying to get the moral high ground.
Yeah.
And her saying like, what right have you to take me to my death? And he's like, I don't make the law. And she said, yeah, but you carry it out or whatever.
You deliver it.
Yeah, that was the phrase. But what do you think on that? Like, what do you think the Doctor should have done in that situation?
It's a hard place.
It is.
Because I understand, like, you can't send her off because she'll just start again.
Because, I mean, this is obviously sci-fi, but this is a real world thing as well. Like, you've got people where there are countries they have the death penalty.
Yeah.
If you send someone back to their own country, they'll be killed.
Yeah.
what are the ethics of that?
Don't know.
But at the same time, the things she's done are heinous.
Mm.
Heinous, however you pronounce it.
Pronounced heinous.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really tricky one.
It is, and that's where like you've got to kind of really like dig deep.
Mm.
But yeah, took a very somber note, didn't it?
Mm.
I want to say one more thing about the end scene.
Okay, yes.
Yeah, like I was thinking to myself, you know about the glove that just gets whipped off.
Yeah.
Did you not think the arm looks like they just took like a Hulk arm and just like, okay, we got this from the toy shop. Let's just extend it.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Don't know. Like it looked weird. And oh my god, the Slitheen looked like Hulks if they were babies. No, if they were like aliens. Hulky aliens.
Hulky aliens. Yeah.
And it's big bug eyes I don't like. Look.
No, they're quite stereotypical.
Are they supposed to be like insectient? Or humanoidient?
I think they are typical green men.
Oh.
But also with the claws and the hunting.
What do you call a person who walks on two legs?
Bipedal.
Oh. And then quadrupedal.
It's 4 legs, yeah.
Quadrupedal.
I thought that was going to be a joke. What do you call a person who walks on 2 legs? Dave. What? Why is that funny? It's not.
Oh, I thought it was. Anyway.
We've talked about Mickey and Rose. You think they're done for good?
Oh, they should be.
Yeah.
Like, if I was in Mickey's shoes, I wouldn't want to give her another chance.
No.
If I was in Rose's shoes, I would just want to hope that he finds peace.
It's funny though that he said to her in this episode, "We were nice, we were happy," and then the doctor came along. But I don't think that's true.
Yeah, and that's the thing. They were nice and they were happy, but they were also stale and stagnant and complacent.
Yeah.
Like they were in this thing, and the doctor came up and showed Rose that, do you know what, this is my life. This is what life could be. This is blah blah blah. I showed her a new side of life.
Yeah.
And by the way, my brain works like this. Sorry, guys. A sideshow called Rose, and it's Rose dealing with her mental health after stopping being the companion.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That's if she survives.
I was going to say that would have been good if she, but yeah.
Oh, does she die?
We've talked about this, haven't we?
Does she die?
I'm not confirming or denying, but you've mentioned a lot of times that you think she does.
Yeah, because Russell likes to kill characters off.
And I can't confirm or deny, I'm afraid, but yeah.
What accent does Billie Piper have?
In real life,
yeah.
She's quite RP, she's quite well spoken.
Oh.
It's weird when we used to see her in interviews, like on Doctor Who Confidential, and she'd be like, "Yes, Rose is a very, very strong, independent woman." And then you cut to Rose, and she's like, "You all right, Doctor?"
Yeah.
Blythe Droog.
Oh dear Lord, the Dark Wolf.
Bad Wolf.
The Bad Wolf. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me tell you my theory that has come from this episode.
Okay.
What keeps following the Doctor? Destruction. What colour is the Doctor wearing? Black is black as a colour in clothing, and costumery is notorious with the villain and bad characters.
Badness. Yeah, okay.
So so I think the Doctor's the Bad Wolf.
Okay.
Because I think in the next episode we're gonna hear a lot more about what he did, how he did it,
in the Time War,
and why he did it. Yeah.
Okay.
And people are going to come up and find him and maybe say, "Why did you leave me? Like, I was on that planet alone and I managed to get myself off. Why did you leave? You have a ship. You could have taken a few of us with you. That ship is a TARDIS. You could have just got all of them in it, or a good chunk of people in it."
Yeah.
But no, he sacrificed everyone else. So I think he's the Bad Wolf. And he's leading, and bad wolves lead good people astray, and he's leading Rose astray.
Oh, okay. Yeah. When we first met Rose in episode 1, she was wearing a red hoodie, and people comment on the similarities to Little Red Riding Hood and the Big Bad Wolf.
Oh my God.
So interesting. But yeah, it's funny how in this episode they make a big thing of it, and he's like 2 words following us, and they're all mysterious. And then he just brushed it under the carpet, and he's like, no, it's
because he
nothing.
knows
It's nothing.
He knows it's something to do with him.
Okay.
Because it's not following the word, the word, the energy, whatever you want to call it, is following his wake. It's his grief.
But what is it then? You say energy. What is making these words appear?
It's just cosmic energy.
Okay.
Like, I don't know. Coincidence would probably be a big part of it.
Well, that's what he said. He said it's just a coincidence.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But sometimes coincidences do mean things. Like they can have meanings, even though they're a coincidence. You can find a meaning within them.
You can find a meaning doesn't mean there's actually a meaning in them.
Yeah.
I think the whole point of coincidence is that there is no meaning behind it.
Yeah.
It's just accidental. But yeah.
Okay.
So there's things to think about. I don't normally ask this at this moment, but I think you should probably know what the next title is of the next episode.
Okay.
Any guesses? Considering what we've just been talking about.
Bad Wolf.
Yeah. Episode 12 is called Bad Wolf.
Yeah, okay.
So we might finally get some answers.
Conclusions are on their way.
We'll see. So, you ready to rate the episode?
I
Boomtown?
am.
Yes.
I am.
Let's hear it.
1.5.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. So therefore, you've said it's better than Aliens of London and The Long Game.
I don't know. I can't remember what they're about.
Aliens of London, the first Slitheen one.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's worse than that.
No, you've said it's better than
Oh
that.
yeah, no, yeah.
Because you gave a 1 to Aliens of London.
Oh yeah, Alien London I did not enjoy.
And a 1 to The Long Game.
Which is the one where
The Jagrafess and the editor.
Oh, absolutely. It's
better than that.
no, it's probably on par with.
So you want to call Boomtown a 1?
Yeah.
Or even like a 0.5?
Not 0.5 because I enjoyed Midge's performance.
Yeah. So what we're going to do probably when we come to the end of series 1, we're going to try and actually rank them all the episodes in order.
Yeah.
And then going forward, we'll just add to that list of where we think each episode sits.
That makes sense.
So I'm curious, as out of Aliens of London, The Long Game and Boomtown, which of those you think is your least favourite?
Aliens of London.
Is the worst for you of the series? Okay. And the best of the series so far for you has been Dalek still?
I did enjoy Dalek.
You've put that as a 4 at the moment, but then Empty Child is 3.5, Dr. Dances is 3. You said you've put Dalek better.
Yeah. I really liked the Back in History one.
The Empty Child.
Yeah. I really
you
like
can
that
you
one.
can reconsider by the time we get to the end.
Because I've been thinking. I keep thinking, going back to thinking about like how much I enjoyed like the idea, and it felt like a very good 2-parter.
Yeah. Okay.
But anyway.
Well, we can amend that as and when.
Yeah.
But so you're giving Boomtown a 1.5 or a 1.
1.
You're giving it a 1. Okay.
1.
What will I give it? Because I like it. I'm gonna call it. I think a 3.5.
Okay. Oh. Cool.
What's wrong with that?
Nothing's wrong with it.
Yeah, but you sound surprised.
I thought it was going to be middle of the road for you, but
It's because I'm looking at my other ones. It's not as good as Dalek or Father's Day, but I think it's a really good episode.
yeah, that's good.
Yeah, so 1 for you, 3.5 for me.
Yeah.
The thing that's just occurred to me is when we start doing our big ranking list, are we going to have to agree on a placement for it?
No, you could have your list and my list
Okay.
because we're not going to agree.
Isn't that like confusing?
No, or we just do my list because you're a fan. I'm not.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true, actually. Probably your... Yeah, if you've got any thoughts on that, if you want to know both our lists, or if you think just knowing Ben's list is more important, then let us know.
Yeah.
But yeah, cool. Okay. I've had a few messages this week via Instagram that I'd like to share. The first one comes from Meg, and she says, "Hey friends, I absolutely adore the podcast and I was catching up this morning. I just needed to let you know that I too had the adipose stress doll and I too managed to burst mine. You're so valid." So remember we were talking about the fat babies, and I said I had one that you squeezed, and I burst it and all the stuff came out. So apparently that happened to Meg as well. So maybe they just...
I smell a default.
Maybe they just
called.
weren't very well made, yeah. Or maybe Meg and I were just both super stressed.
Meg and I. Why is it not Meg and me?
Subject pronoun. I. You could say I was super stressed.
Release the grammar nerd, that's Stephen.
The next one comes from Aaron, and Aaron says, "Hey, I just wanted to write in and say that I absolutely love the podcast. It's such a great idea, and I love hearing the vastly different opinions. 2005 to 6 was peak Who when I was a child, and I still love the show as a whole today. Just great hearing other queer people express their love and hate for Doctor Who."
Who's the hate?
I think we all know. All the best and Happy New Year to you both.
I've shed some love.
I always look forward to new episodes. Thank you for that, Aaron. I love that. And our final one this week comes from Yanto, who messaged in before. I feel really bad because I was questioning whether Yanto was really his name, because it's a character in Torchwood. I thought maybe he was using it as a pseudonym. Yeah. But he's got back to me to confirm that, yes, he is. He goes by Yanto.
Hello, Yanto.
Yes, and Yanto has a question for us. He says, for Ben, which historical figures would you most like an episode to feature? Ooh. And then for me, he wants to ask which ones, either the same question or which ones have they done that I wish they hadn't done.
Okay.
So you tell me.
So, characters that I like Queen Elizabeth I.
Mm-hmm. She's a great character. Do you want me to confirm if they ever do this, or do you want to leave it a surprise?
I want to leave it a surprise. Henry VIII.
Mm-hmm.
Would be good. The actual Queen. Oh,
what?
She's dead.
Elizabeth II.
Elizabeth II.
That could be really cool, actually. Might need to leave it a little bit longer before they think it's tasteful enough to do that. The Queen actually has appeared in Doctor Who twice, I think, in tiny little cameos.
Okay.
Not the real Queen. I mean,
yeah. I like the idea of future people though more than I like historical features, like future prime ministers, and future kings and queens, future celebrities, future powerful people.
Well, you'll be ticking all of these boxes if you go through the rest of the series. So
that appeals to me more than historical. But I would like to see there's some fashion designers I quite like. Well, I study fashion, so I quite like the idea of the person who made these historical gowns is quite interesting to me.
Yeah.
Jane Austen could be quite nice.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they do quite a few writers.
Yeah, Jane Austen would be quite nice. We've done Charles Dickens already.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You nicked my mind that I was going to say, because I've always thought Henry VIII would be a good one, because he's such a big character in history. No pun intended, but he seems like he'd be a good character, angry and ready to behead people. And, well, I once, when I was 16, 17, I had to go at writing a Doctor Who script.
Yeah.
And I set it, because I grew up near Hampton Court Palace, which obviously you know, but I'm just telling listeners. Oh, yeah. So I've always been interested in Henry VIII and stuff like that, and I wrote an episode where I think it was Anne of Cleves was an alien.
Oh.
And she had some big plot, and she ended up, I don't know. Can't remember exactly the ins and outs of it.
Arthur.
King Arthur?
Yeah.
Okay, that means confirming that it was a real person.
I love that person. I love that story, should I say.
Yeah. But do you believe he really existed?
Yes.
Do you?
I don't believe in Merlin or out of it, but I believe there was a King Arthur.
Okay. I think he was probably a story, a
fable.
Yeah, because he's kind of typical old British mythology, and I think he was probably kind of created as an amalgamation, the kind of king that people are always romanticizing the past, and it's King Arthur was the best king ever and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Mm.
I don't know.
Okay.
Who else would I like to see, or any that they've done that I wish they hadn't? There is certainly some that they've done that I wish they had handled better, without giving too much away for Ben. It's a shame when they do a historical celebrity episode and they reduce a historical figure to like a 2-dimensional version of them. You know, if you're going to do it, you might as well explore them properly. And like, so Dickens, they did really well.
Yeah.
And then others that we will see, they did really well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I sort of similar to that question, actually. I thought of a question to ask you myself this week.
Okay.
And I was going to say to you, if you had the opportunity to have a trip in the TARDIS, where would you go?
Victorian England. Hands down.
Okay.
Victorian England.
Whereabouts? London?
London.
Yeah.
And, well, the whole of the UK if I could. Like, if I could just do a
big tour, yeah.
A tour through the whole UK.
Okay.
But more localised, probably York.
Okay.
And, like, the mills.
And so what would you want to see? The mills?
The mills, and I know it's a ghastly time period.
Oh, yeah, with children being, like, crushed under machines and things.
Yeah, and, like, being, like, sent into weaving machines and then getting sliced up.
Exactly, yeah.
Like, I understand that. Working conditions for adults were just as bad. Like, they were, like, I understand that. Like, they didn't understand what uranium was and all this, and, like, health was, and we had all these, like, toxic chemicals that were in your wallpaper and in your paints and all that. But it does not stop it from being my favourite time period to read, my favourite time period to learn about. That, and from 1850 all the way up to the 1950s, that century, it's not a century, but it's 100
I know what you mean,
years,
yeah, that period, yeah.
are my favourites.
Yeah, no, I agree, they're definitely interesting.
They make, for me, the best books.
Yeah. When I was younger, I used to think to myself, oh, I wish I'd been born in, like, so I was around in the 1940s or something.
Yeah.
But then nowadays I think to myself, no, because I'm gay, I couldn't have lived a life like I live now, and various other reasons why. Obviously, we romanticise the past, but it wasn't all we think it was.
But I do just love that time period.
Yeah, it would be nice to visit.
Yeah, and like some of my favourite books are historical fiction. I like writing, and some of that is historical fiction. I've got a phase about the 80s at the moment. But yeah, no. What about you?
If I had a trip in the TARDIS, probably like to go and see Shakespeare.
Oh, okay.
Or, you know, maybe go and see like an original production in the Globe or something, just because, I mean, spoilers, they do that in Doctor Who. But no, I want to see, just because that's always been an area of interest for me.
Yeah, okay, that's a good one. Can I say a bonus bit?
Yeah.
I'd love to go see my mum before she had children.
Oh my God, yeah.
Like,
I would totally do that. I would totally go back and see my parents, like when they were young, when they were our age.
Yeah.
And I've said this to you before, you might think this is weird, but with you and me being in a relationship, a number of times I've thought to myself, oh, I wish I had a time machine, I could just go back and see you as a child.
Weird.
Is that a weird thing to say?
Yeah, it's weird.
Just because you talk about your childhood and you just sound so, like, sweet and vulnerable, and, like, I just want to be there to be like, everything's going to be okay.
I found growing up very hard and traumatic.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's go. Anywho, so this is that week's episode 11.
Yeah.
Who would have thought we got here?
I know.
We started in November.
Did we?
Doctor Who Day.
Oh, yeah, we did. Of course we did.
My God, Stephen, you released the podcast.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Thanks again for listening.
Hope you have a lovely week.
Yes. Keep the messages and comments coming in, because we love to see it.
Au revoir, peeps, and we'll see you soon. Peace out.
Take care. Bye.